Hello and welcome to another episode of Schmidtastic Social Media Tips, brought to you by Tweetfind.com. My name is Amy Schmidauer, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Facebook. We've been seeing a lot of updates on Facebook, but there's one in particular that's piqued my interest, and that is the new subscribe button. If you're not familiar with the subscribe button, it's basically a new way to follow somebody on Facebook, aside from a fan page or a personal profile page. How this works is you don't have to be friends anymore. If somebody has updates that they are sharing publicly and they have opted into the subscribe button, you can subscribe to their personal profile and check to see anything that they've updated. It's really interesting because obviously we see a lot of this on Twitter and Google+. This is like Facebook is using another feature on other social networks to make their site better, but I'm going to keep my personal opinions to myself. But it is kind of interesting because I think what Mr. Zuckerberg is basically trying to say is that individuals should be using the subscribe button versus the fan page. And I think he showed that when he took all of his fans on the Mark Zuckerberg fan page and converted them the day the subscribe button came out to subscribers of his personal page. So I think there's a couple reasons why it's a good idea and not such a good idea. For one thing, the personal profile page is way easier to update mobily or really anywhere. The fan page it's on its own separate thing. But also you do get a lot of analytics as far as brands go to measure and see how many impressions you're making and how many click-throughs you're getting, how many fans you have. So there are a lot of perks to having a fan page, but it is possible that individuals can now have sort of a brand presence on a personal profile page. This also opens up some possibility of being found through search engines via Facebook. Obviously, if your personal profile page is private, you might just have a listing show up on Google, but no one's really going to be able to see anything unless they're your friend. But when you have the subscribe button available and public updates, then that stuff is obviously able to be picked up by search engines. So if you want to make the subscribe button available on your page, you need to go to facebook.com/about/subscribe, and you'll see some frequently asked questions, kind of find out more about the button and opt into it. Also, if you want to go to your privacy settings and check to see, obviously you probably have your posts set on friends only, but you can make the option default to public. Now what this will do is anytime you post to your profile, it'll just assume that you want anybody to see it that's your friend and subscribe to you. So you can definitely default to public. But if you want to stay default to friends of friends, or friends only, whatever the setting is, it will always go to just your friends, and you can change it if you would like it to also go public. So if you would rather play it safe and stick to friends only, then make sure it's set that way in your privacy settings, and then whenever you post something, you can just go into it and mark it public so that anyone that's subscribed to you can check it out as well. You can find me on Facebook, Amy Schmidauer, as you all well know, and you can subscribe to my updates. Most of mine are all public. I figure my friends are pretty much all public. I mean, we went to high school together and never spoke, so it's not like I trust them with any private information. And I'm also on Twitter at Schmidtastic, duh, and on SavvySexySocial.com with social media tips to help you own your social presence. I will see you next week on the Tweetfind blog.